What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon. No matter where you are in the world, I'm Hasan Piker, and this is HASAN, our broadcast coming to you live from rainy California, Los Angeles. Folks, we're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one, because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. In spite of the rain, it's a big day today, and there's a lot to talk about, folks. Oh, my God. Holy Toledo, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy Toledo.
I saw Pot Save America. You did great. So many moments. I was like, I hope he talks about the grapists in Israel who made them famous, and you did. And you quoted Albert Einstein. You did so great. Thank you. Yeah, I went to the lion's den of liberalism, and I spoke convincingly about why I say the things I say about Hamas and how I compare Hamas to Israel and say Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel. So, like, that was, I think, fairly instructive for a lot of liberals. I think it'll be a good opportunity for a lot of liberals and normies to just like see what my perspective is, what our perspective is really. I got the coveted folks tweet from Dave Weigel. Okay, he's joking, obviously, but this will do numbers with lib moms, by the way. I know there are white wine moms in the countryside that are gonna see this and lose their minds. Be like, why can't every Democrat talk like this? This is exactly what we need right now, because this is how I feel. And this is the real me. When I'm fucked up, that's the real me. You know what I mean? This is the you know, pivotal message for a lot of Democratic Party voters who face themselves to be centrists, right? Like, but aren't actually centrist at all. Every time I do Pot Save America, especially with John, usually a lot of new liberals who are fans of the Pod Johns will hear my perspective and go, oh my God, this is what the fuck? Like, why can't we have more people that talk like this? And there's a good reason for it. It's because most of the mainstream media want those people to encounter me for the first time ever in short bursts, right? 10-second increments. I don't stream for 10 seconds. I stream for 10 hours. This would have been very successful 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It certainly was successful against Bernard Sanders, right? It's no longer successful because independent media is uncontrollable and is not interested in abiding by whatever standards that mainstream institutions want to apply. I would say the bulk of our conversation explained my position on Israel versus Hamas. I think it's a very good conversation that took place with the Pod John as well. I think you guys will appreciate it, especially considering that a lot of the liberals that watch Pod Save America have reacted in the exact same way that they reacted every single time I've been on the Pod Johns. They reacted with excitement, frustration for the way that Democrats speak right now on issues. I don't know what CNN is talking about. This guy seems pretty all right. We do need people to be more aware of who he actually is, trying to take what little we actually have away. It's not the LGBT or Latinos or black people or Muslims, it's the rich. Significant improvement over Cory Booker. Exactly the kind of conversation we need. Honestly, this was a very good interview. Much better and much more coherent than I expected, given the way some media is talking about Hasan. Appreciated the substantive focus on the issues instead just the controversy. After listening to Hasan for an hour speak clear and concise reasoning, now I understand why the AIPAC wing of the Democratic Party, which is say 99% of the party, fear and attack him. Logic and reason are not on the side of the Zionists. I've been casually aware of Hasan Piker and heard about some of his controversial comments. This is the first time I've listened to a more in-depth interview with him and entered it with an open mind. The perspectives Hasan offered helped me to expand my understanding of the issues between Israel and Palestine. It's true, people are finally doing their homework. I learned about Hasan from Sarah Longwell at The Bulwark, and within 1 hour after listening to her rant about him, I became a Piker enthusiast. Thanks, Sarah. Hasan is spot on regarding corporate greed. I wasn't sure who Hasan Piker was until Dem started attacking him. After I listened to Kyle Kalinske talk about him, I checked him out and I found that I agree with almost everything he says. Thanks, Dems, for putting him on my radar. John was exactly the right person for this interview with Hasan. Good push, but also civil conversation and letting him explain while still calling out dumb things. This is what democratic politics should look like. Hasan's conviction is so compelling. He's so good whenever he's allowed to expand on his opinions. I love how he stands by his words and doesn't back down. I'm a 64-year-old Democratic woman. I listen to Hasan. I'm so fed up with my own party. If they want to get rid of him, they want to get rid of more of us than they can imagine. I'm 70-year-old moderate Democrat. I found Hasan about a year ago. Do I agree with everything he says or the way he says it? No, I don't. He said things that make me angry. So has every Dem commentator or left-leaning politician I've ever supported. All of them. But the man is out there fighting for what he thinks is right. He's honest about what he feels and experiences. He puts himself out there. He goes and talks to everyone. He's not our enemy. He is our ally. This is, as HasanDaily Productions says, is why they're desperate to try and cancel me. When regular people watch him outside of 20-second clips, this is what happens. Always. And of course, on the orbit, people who actually watch the interview go, wow, this is fucking awesome. I had no idea what this guy was about. And now that I've actually listened to him without this ridiculous filter, even in a somewhat contentious environment where, you know, my statements are being called in to account, right? There is a little bit of accountability there. It's not like John Favreau is just like letting me run away with whatever I'm saying and doing. All of a sudden, it's a lot more fucking reasonable. These guys are not equipped to deal with subversive mask-on radicals and have done more to sane-wash this lunatic views than probably any other alternative media platform. Ezra Klein argues that we don't have to limit discourse to people we deem acceptable, then does somersaults trying to make Hasan Piker seem more acceptable. As much as he's a never Trumper, he's also a never Democrat too. Piker's a loser. His ideas are losers. So is his politics. Notice how the people that refuse to engage me and the ideals that I represent and fight for are the ones who are the most active in disparaging what this movement is, what this movement represents. Many of them can also be identified with Israel first politics as well. Interesting. Or in this sex pest case, obviously a personal vendetta that he's carried for almost a fucking decade. I promise you, Pod Save America, we do not need to hear from this R word. Media, Hasan Piker brands Republican Party biggest terrorist group on earth. Oh, this is awesome. This post was fact-checked by Real American Patriots. True. It's true. It's objectively true. Once again, I've been saying that for fucking years. Good luck trying to deal with that. Zionists acting like it's not about Israel. Shannon Watts did the same thing too. To pretend the debate to push Piker to the fringes over Israel is not only wrong, it's irresponsible. Anti-Semitism aside, Piker has a long list of indefensible anti-American racist misogynistic offenses. Unsure why so many Dems are eager to defend such a bad guy. We all know what the real reason is, and we all know the real reason is Israel, because you have openly, as a part of Third Way, pushed Democrats to literally align with right-wing forces who actually do demonstrate, maybe not anti-American, but racist and misogynistic offenses. The problem is, once again, in the old era of the media, if I was some college activist, or if I was just like some guy with no platform whatsoever, then yes, most things that you heard about me would be from the gatekeepers. You would just hear what Dana Bash had to say about me. You'd just hear about Jake Tapper. You would just hear what Mark Levin had to say about me, and that's the only information that you would be able to make up your mind on, right? Like you would be like, this is the only thing I know about this guy. He seems terrible. In the new media environment, it doesn't work that way. I sometimes have either a competitive or sometimes a larger audience than these guys do, right? So people can hear from me directly. So it doesn't fucking work that way. It's a comforting notion that if we just allow people to spread lies and hate about our brothers and sisters in Israel, they'll hate Jews in the diaspora a little less. But the reality is hate, yes, including that hate that calls for the dissolution of the world's one Jewish state and the home of half a Jews living, has little to do with our actions. Read my take on Ezra Klein's latest op-ed on Hasan Piker on my Substack. It's so funny to read this article or to read this sentiment as anything but, if you give equality to all that live in the land that Israel currently occupies and dominates, you want another Holocaust to happen. It's an unbelievably racist thing to say, and most people don't even comprehend how unbelievably racist it is. We just take it for fucking granted. This is the same exact principle that whites in South Africa presented, where they were like, what, we can't have a fucking white ethno state? What are you talking about? A white dominated ethno state? You just want us to die, huh? Like little old Rhodesia standing alone in the entire continent of Africa can't even have it. It's so fucking stupid. So many black countries. Why can't there be a white one in the continent of Africa? The photo he's using, yeah, he's trying to say that like Ezra Klein wants to fuck me. It's insane. I think we should all just pay less attention to him. Not the president, the other one. Maybe we lived out a little too hard. Let's go back to talking about getting Liz Cheney for a round 2 on the campaign trail. Why does ContraPoints hate you so much? Is it just because you called out her bad Israel take she had? I'm not a fan of her, but she hates you for real. Yeah, she's just leaned into being a total defender of the Democratic Party, has like some right-wing points on that as well. I don't know why she just has like such a strong affinity towards the nation state of Israel. Could be, you know, some unchecked Islamophobia potentially. But yeah, she became Hasbara points. She was quiet for the longest time on the issue of Israel and then chose to speak out somewhat in favor of Israel and very critical of the pro-Palestinian wing of the party, literally, I think it was 2 days before there was this massive sea change because there was tremendous amounts of coverage about Israel doing a famine in Gaza. Like, it was unbelievable. 2 years in, she didn't speak about Israel at all. No peep. Her fans were constantly demanding she say something. Then she went out to Reddit, which is the most, at the time, the most pro-Israel platform that she could find, and released this massive statement. The statement itself was flawed. This is the nicest thing I can say about it, right? The statement itself was flawed, and it basically put the blame on the pro-Palestinian activists and the advocates and the people that were dominated, people who were arrested for advancing this cause, for speaking truth to power, punished relentlessly for it, right? Basically said, oh, you're showing these atrocities. It's like, and it's, making people feel bad. And it also hurt the Democratic Party's chances of winning. It was this ridiculous statement. And the timing of it was so fucking bad. The timing of it was so bad. Like, if she had just kept quiet, she probably would not have received so much backlash. But not only did she, come out with this ridiculous statement, she did it right before there was like unlimited coverage on Israel doing a famine and murdering Palestinian children in a way that was impossible to ignore. So I think, content creators like this, I myself am not, outside of this group either. Nobody likes to be yelled at. Nobody likes to be told that they're fucking wrong, right? And she was inundated with unlimited statements about how fucking wrong she was and how much of a genocidaire she was. And that probably hardened her position. And she, for some weird reason, decided that I was like the primary critic of her statement, I think. It is also because of this as well, I think, maybe. I don't know. Like her being... her doing something with Hillary Rodham Clinton. She thinks you're a community harasser, not understanding that you share similar audiences. Yeah, it's almost like an Ethan Klein moment, right? It's an Ethan Klein thing where it's like, oh, it can't be my own statements being reflected on by my own community that I've cultivated, many of which are anti-Zionist and on the side of truth and justice here, on the side of the Palestinians, getting mad at me. It must be some outsider that's pushing them to criticize me. Not comparing Natalie to Ethan, please. It's true, though. They're aligned on this. They're aligned on this fucking issue. I say this as someone who's collaborated with her, who's hung out with her, who was shocked by her position on the issue of Israel to begin with. Like, I was pretty open about it. And my commentary on her statement was much nicer, much nicer than many others. My expectation was that she would be the last person to do this because she's actually smart. Like, it was genuinely a surprise because Ethan Klein is a fucking idiot, like he doesn't know shit about politics. He's just responding to whatever he sees on his timeline, whatever is presented to him in his subreddit, oftentimes by sex pestiny Redditors that LARP as though they are H3 fans, right? You just gave him material for his next 6-hour podcast, buddy. Okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. What's he gonna do? Fucking complain about? Is he gonna cancel Ezra Klein now? King Lib. He's gonna be like, Ezra Klein, you're canceled. You're the king of anti-Semite. You got sucked into Hasan's dangerous web of lies, like he did with fucking Sam Cedar. Ezra Klein, another Jew hater. We must cancel our New York Times subscriptions, guys. Like, is that what he's gonna do? Okay. Good luck.